to UCC. You got Gabe here today.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Sep.
It's Wes.
And it's JJ.
Javi.
Come on.
We got Wes back in the building for this episode. Super excited to talk to you guys about some of the new topics that we're going to be adventuring in the near future, and we're going to be bringing to the podcast, and that's the Emerald Cup.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited.
Let's go, boys. Come on.
This episode is going to be a bit more informative on what the Emerald Cup is, so that way you guys know what to anticipate when it comes time for us to actually go and adventure there. So that way you guys have a little bit more of the history that it eludes the infamous Emerald Cup.
Yeah, definitely spotlight on the Emerald Cup, but we're going to talk about all like cannabis events today.
Yeah.
Let's do all the cups and competitions, and let's get deep into it.
I love it, dude. I love it. Super excited.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I've been looking at the Emerald Cup. It's hard to not go far, not looking, you know what I mean, who founded it, where it started, and that would be Tim Blake, the man.
Tim Blake.
Tim Blake, dude.
And when did he start it?
2003.
2000.
As early as 2000, like the earliest, I think it was
Like
in
official.
Brainstorm in 2003, and then
Okay.
officially 2004 is like the first
Got it.
year.
Like the first cup.
Yeah, or does
Emerald
it, yeah, the actual Emerald Cup. And that's almost, we're talking like 20 years now.
Oh, yeah.
In
Yes,
Mendes-
which is their
it's in
20-year
Mendocino?
anniversary, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Not to
Mendocino
mention,
County.
they were doing it before, you know, in private as well.
Yeah, definitely. And Sep and JJ, you guys just barely shared some really interesting information about the underground side of things of the Emerald Cup.
Underground.
Because it was prior to 2004 that cannabis was being grown in California and the cups were being held. This was something that is based out of culture, lived in the culture. Sep, what were you just talking about by chance?
Yeah, no, it was awesome, man. Earlier we were mentioning about the Tim Blake, his dad, and just kind of looking up the fact that the Emerald Cup Farms was something that was spawned out of his dad, you know, growing and
Since 1973.
1973,
Yeah.
And they called
they were
it
around
Emerald Farm.
30 years, you know what I mean?
Emerald Farms, yeah.
Emerald Farms
The
were around
Emerald
30
Farms.
years before the first event. So
Yeah.
that's kind
Got
of
you.
pretty crazy to
Can you
see.
imagine?
Volumes to what's been around in that time, how they establish culture, right?
Staying under the radar.
You can't just have one
Is
of
there
the
a certain
world's
strain that
largest
they're known
events.
for?
I couldn't even tell you what was
Dude,
inside.
honestly,
I bet you they're just a bunch of Thai and Cambodian strains that were coming back from there, you know, because of the war. You know what I mean? After the war, the hippies, like that's all I could think.
One.
That's all I could think about. Were like those, like really, like those
Vietnamese
Panama Reds,
black.
yeah, like coming in straight from like those continents at the time. But I mean, yeah, 1970s was pretty a scary time for them to grow. I'm sure. You know,
Yeah.
some days they were like king and queens, and then other days they're like pawns. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like now, but I'm sure back then it was pretty crazy because of how
and if
bad
you,
it was.
dude, you look at the Emerald Triangle and what's spawned out of the Emerald Triangle.
Wait. Emerald Triangle. Explain that to the people.
So it's the Emerald Triangle is in Mendocino County is one of them. Trinity County, I believe, is
And
in
Humboldt
there.
County.
And Humboldt County are the three.
The trifecta.
The
man.
trifecta in California. This is one of the most notorious places in the world for cultivating cannabis. We have some of the best acclimation for curating some of the most high quality outdoor cannabis. In that triangle, this is where the Emerald Cup is initially held because it's all of the cultivars that are green from inside that triangle, essentially. Of course, other cultivars come in from out of state, or not out of state, but like throughout the state.
North, South California,
Yeah.
it's all within.
And that's what I'm referring to when I
Nice,
say the
for
Emerald
sure.
Triangle.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that the Emerald Triangle is where a lot of our stuff comes from. You know what I mean? Where like I would say I wouldn't even put a percentage.
In that era, do you remember they did it like
in that area, yeah, I would say for sure.
in that era they did like a study that like I think it was like over
Like what 80% of everything came out of there. That's why I didn't want to give like the percentage, but I know where you're coming from.
yeah it's like 73
Yeah, it
or
was
something.
all flower came out
did
like
it
from
when they
that.
did, Murder Mountain
that center.
on
Yeah.
Netflix. They were
Right.
saying like it was something
Emerald.
like 60 or 80%, like you guys said.
Yeah, dude, it's high.
Jeez.
It's high
I'm
up
sure
there.
it was.
Really interesting when you start looking at the history and like you mentioned Murder Mountain. That's a heavy term, and there used to be a lot of warfare that would happen on that mountain due to not having any regulations on cannabis and the way that it was so freely cultivated in that time frame because of how many veterans were in need, or other people seeing the true benefit of the profit margins, because that's a real thing too. People saw the value in cannabis, and not always the best faces would show up. Like the Hells Angels are notorious for having their cut inside of like the county. Hells Angels OG or Hells OG is one of the strains that they cultivated in particular that's pretty notorious from them. Just had to throw a little fun fact in there for the strain. Really unique when you start looking at the history of the Emerald Triangle.
Yes, and it's all, you gotta think back in like the 70s, since it's in California where it is, it's all underneath like big redwood trees and hidden. And so it was that way when it would have like initially started, in a sense. Everything was more like close-knit community than it is now.
Yeah.
For sure, everything was like very small, like within what you're saying, the Emerald Triangle, like 3 counties and that's it. Now, we're mentioning 2024 going, it is now statewide.
Yeah.
It's nationwide.
Nationwide.
Nationwide, yes.
Yeah.
Known everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too, because I think there was a grower, if I recall correctly, when they were talking about the Emerald Triangle. The Emerald Triangle is one, and this is in their words, but one, if not the only one, that has the most perfect acclimation to cannabis in all of the United States.
Yeah.
Like Northern California, because of its fertile, its terrain, its agriculture, right, and its rich ongoing history of cannabis. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy that like it's that one area out of the whole United States, but it's also known for its outdoor grow. That's why it's so popular too, right? Because of the acclimation there. So just wanted to highlight that part as to why the Emerald was also very popular. But it's also its terrain, you know, the community that was based out of there, you know what I mean? The culture that they built out of there.
I think you bringing up like talking about like outdoor and like obviously at that time and like now indoor is a lot bigger, but what the Emerald Cup does entail is a lot of, at that time it started as friendly competition, and it still is, but it is a really big competition.
Really
now.
big competition.
You're talking about like over 40 different categories.
Yeah.
The Emerald Cup is one of the longest running outdoor organic cannabis competitions. So like it's been around, I mean, since the start. Like they've been had a spotlight on outdoor,
Right.
Because of the Emerald Triangle. And
Well, when
what's
did
unique?
indoor actually start taking off?
Indoor started, I would say, taking off.
was like mid-90s at least.
Yeah, when they really started cracking down.
Yeah, when people started to go inside
Yeah.
and stop going outside, you know what I mean? 'Cause they're like, oh shit, war on drugs, right? Crack epidemic. You're like, oh,
I think
snap.
that's when
And I think
things
it was
really
it's
started.
technology too,
People
like how
taking
much you can
packs
see, how much you can get seen from, right? Just from space, from like telescopes,
That's
from
true.
Google
That's true,
Maps,
yeah.
from
Choppers,
like, technology
right?
took over, so that was
Yeah.
also a big part of switching to
Resort,
the indoor.
yeah.
Also,
So,
cultivation technology too.
I think that's
how
a
much
huge
things
thing
you
in
can.
But I also really have a cool theory on why. I think that since a lot of veterans brought over the strains, they're so smart that they surveyed land and they were like, okay, this mountain has probably the highest potential for us to cultivate the best cannabis that like mimics where we were at. And now we're going to start cultivating in this specific area. And that's why it ended up becoming so infamous, is because of the knowledge of people that were coming back and deciding to cultivate. You know, the style of cultivars that were coming up were usually guerrilla grows. Like, let's talk about guerrilla grow operations for a second. They are people usually that have some kind of agricultural integration in some format of like learning how to work the land in some way. And you can be just a farmer, but usually like being able to understand like where the sun's gonna come up and like how each shadow of the mountain's gonna come into play on like what valley's gonna give you the most airflow, you know what I mean, which one's gonna have the best like channels for ripping through, and like really getting your plant stimulated in that way.
100.
Having water and like runoff in a specific format that's
Well, not to
coming
mention
down
they're
the
all
mountain
small
in a-
farmers, right?
Yeah, dude,
So they're
like-
not gonna tell on each other. You know, you're talking
Yeah.
about small scale under the ground. You know, like these guys are not gonna. They're all gonna. You know what I mean? Like you got one guy that's
three-man
over there,
crew
and they got
at
another
most.
guy that's over here. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what goes in technically doesn't go out, almost type thing. You know,
Well,
it's
that's
like
what the Emerald Cup was about.
you know
that
what I
they
mean?
all
Like,
got together.
they're
to
so banded
start
together.
sharing those
Yeah,
secrets.
and that's what it came down
And
to. They were
that's
so
why-
strong. That camaraderie that they built inside there was like, yo, like you're coming in on Humboldt. Like we're gonna check you type stuff. You can't just go in there, and that's what they're facing right now. Like that big threat of like big companies coming over, starting to take over these small farmers, and that's what makes the emerald. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's the
Yeah.
tightness that these small farmers are continuing to like
Yeah.
keep the water right. You know the small guerrilla grows. And,
But like learning how to plant and like what we've been taught today, like knowing that like the ravine is going to catch all of the water and that's going to funnel minerals and stuff. So you want to collect your soil from that region, or you want to utilize it from that specific area if you're just going to throw seeds. But like another format that we saw Gorilla Grows was like taking pots and stuff up into trees, creating a platform.
Yeah,
and letting
that
them
was
grow
crazy.
up in trees.
Yeah.
Another one, indoor grows, that they would create like sheds and then camouflage on the outside with trees and other things. Like they did the
Tarps,
most
like
to
green
be able
tarps
to
and
really
camouflage.
curate cannabis, and like the legends curated it for all of us to enjoy. And now from 1973, when things really got to rumbling, like that's when that's when he got noticed. Imagine us before, like we're working in the garage years before we have an official like, hey, we're a farm. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
think about that for a second. He's in deep. This is over like 60 years of cannabis culture that goes into curating the Emerald Cup.
100,000%, man. Because all that knowledge that's in there, I mean, has to stick with those people in there. Tim Blake, you know what I mean, creating the Emerald Cup to highlight the cultivars, right? Highlight the best growers, highlight the best product, highlight the best farmers, and it was a way to bring all these guys and showcase what the Emerald Cup is about.
On love.
You know what I'm saying? On love too, because it's like saying like, yo, like we're gonna host it here because this is where the fire is. This is where the fire growers are, and this is where like you can get the best fire. You know what I mean? In a sense, so it's like crazy to see how long lasting
pride,
they've stayed.
dog.
You know what I
That
mean?
pride,
Exactly.
dude.
Exactly. And that's what they're known for now. 20 years later, I mean, we've seen them add new categories to the Emerald Cup, and that's what the Emerald Cup is, guys. For those of you who don't know, it aims at highlighting, you know, these cultivars, these plants, the farmers, the growers, the breeders, the products, and not only that, but the vendors and the camaraderie that this is building for everyone to come and enjoy. Something to get away from alcohol and cigarettes, something that's actually catered to cannabis vendors and the cannabis community.
Yeah.
You know, and the Emerald Cup does that. 20 years strong, man.
Dude, you mentioned something really cool, and it's the diversity that they judge, right? So you can be an independent grower, you can be an actual licensed grower.
They have small batch grower, you know,
Small
like small,
batch,
like indoor,
like
outdoor depths,
personal
like them. You know what I mean?
What are
Greenhouse.
you trying to curate with your smoke? Are you an exotic? Are you a gas? Are you a
Gas,
fruit?
funk, yeah.
Are you funk? Where are you on the spectrum? Because they have a
Right.
spot for you, and
Yeah,
you're
it's not
gonna
just
go
like
against
the
your own
best of
breed.
everything. It's the best of this.
Your class.
Yeah, the best of each classification.
Yes, and that's where like over 40 different categories.
Category,
right?
you have so many people categories.
'Cause it's
yeah.
topicals, it's balms, it's
Syrup,
edible
rosin,
flowers,
outdoor
syrup,
flower,
yeah.
all of that.
Concentrates. So it's like
Rosin.
obviously
Every
solventless,
format.
and then any solvent like
Even THC free, like CBD,
CBD,
and
CBD products,
and CBD and CBG products.
Yep.
It's unique. It's really unique what they're doing, and like that's so amazing that it's in our back door. We get to go experience that in our backyard every year. It curates one of the most amazing cultures, in my opinion, in the world. You know. Let's talk about outside of the United States for a second. If you guys are good to move on, you guys want to talk anything else that you guys would like to highlight with Emerald?
Just the
maybe
fact that it's a
let's-
stronghold, man.
I would say where we're gonna be going this year, and we kind of highlighted all the categories. What's one thing
Ooh, okay.
you guys are really looking forward to
I like
to
this.
try? Maybe a certain grower, maybe a certain type of product. What comes to mind is like
Man, I would definitely if I were to go first, man, it would definitely be the outdoor flower. That would be the first I would want to try before anything else, because of like the flower is like where it's at, right? For me personally, whether that's through a bong or some doink out there, that would be the first. I would love to try some outdoor class A1 flower that has me bouncing off the walls, with some crazy maybe gas funk flavors, followed by a cool, smooth, mellow, cerebral, not heavy high. But yeah, and some rosin and some syrup, dog, and some solventless.
So we have a really unique experience with going to the Emerald Cup and there being curated small batch. I'm going to be chasing a true sativa or a true landrace. Anything, I'm going to be on the hunt, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a true sativa or a true landrace.
You say that all I can think of is like a terpenoline heavy.
Yeah, just something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that sounds fucking nice.
Oh, Arcada Fire. Arcada Fire. So they are the 2023.
First, second, and third place winners, y'all.
You heard it here. Syrup, vape cartridge.
That's crazy.
That'll
this
definitely
photo.
have to be one to try out.
You know what I'm
You'll have to
saying?
look at that brand. For sure.
Yes, I would say cartridge is fair. What about you? What are you looking to try out there, man?
I'd say that for sure, like, obviously that, I mean, syrup,
Some
definitely sign
solventless.
me up. If we're looking more flour,
I like the sugar, the hash sugar. I was like to try like the sugar hash too, like actual
it's
bubble
gotta
hash.
be no
6 star.
Kings. No Kings has got to be up there for flour.
Ooh, you said no
or
tilly.
Ethic Farms.
Ethic
That's what I mean. Get
Farms.
some notes
Some of
to it.
that
Ethic.
Cherry
Yeah,
Expo.
that cherry, man.
Shout out Greasy, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be bad to
Oh,
try.
Well, I don't know. Do you guys know who took that
Yeah.
first place at Spanavis? He took it. He's 2 years now, I think, in a row. Dante's Inferno. Mile High Davis from Colorado.
Mile High Dave.
Mile High Dave, yeah. So I don't know if he's gonna compete his Dante's Inferno number 6
There
at
you
the
go. There's
Emerald
another
Cup.
big one to try.
Because that's what he won. That's
Damn,
when
if
I'm
he's
like,
going, we trying it.
what about you, JJ?
Trying it all.
Yeah, what's
You
up,
want all of it?
Yeah, I was looking, something no-till as well.
Yeah, no-till for sure has got everyone's attention.
Yeah, I want to get into that heady rosin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so you guys know, this is all unanimous
pie.
chosen
Yeah.
by the judges. So the fact that all these breeders and growers get to bring in whatever they have and it's unanimously chosen makes it that much better for the judges and the people, because the product speaks for itself. And these farmers, these men and women, and all these people are creating something for the community, constantly trying to elevate, each year. So it's why it's crazy, man, because they just kind of always build on top of each other. Every year it just keeps getting more pure, more refined, more cleaner. You know what I mean? So it's exciting.
And that's the most beautiful thing about competition, It's like, oh, how can I do a little better? Ooh, I really like that. How can I get even more, and more and more and more, and it just evolves the game to what it is today. Back where it all started with Cannabis Cups, the biggest one that everybody knows, at least, not the biggest today in those terms, but High Times Cannabis Cup started in the 1980s, bro, in Amsterdam, and it was there.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was there for years and years. I mean, I think they still have it there, but then they started it in the U.S.
Yeah, they have something like
In 2010, they started it in the U.S. and that year, in Amsterdam, they actually got raided.
Damn, dog.
Yeah.
Talking about Spannabis getting raided too.
Spanish, yeah, they were
that's
getting
the
raided
next
out there.
one.
That was crazy. They were getting raided out there. People were they were cracking down out there,
no.
man. Barcelona,
That's
dog.
the next
But going
one.
back to
awful.
going back to High Times
So
Cup, I think the
bad.
biggest thing to highlight, especially more recent, is how many competitions they've done. They've gone to like
High
probably
Times, yeah.
10, 15 different states as far as like a High
yeah.
Times
Well,
Cup.
internationally, High Times is in Canada. Man, they've been in Europe. They've
Dude,
also
they went to
appeared in Jamaica.
Australia.
You know what I'm saying? So High Times has been around for quite a long time.
That's nuts.
But also a lot of places. That's
A lot of
another thing, right?
places.
So like we talked about Emerald Cup, that's one place,
Right.
Right. The High
Centralized,
Times
yeah.
Cup, you're talking about like 15
Everywhere.
different states in the U.S. and then also other countries.
Right.
Yeah, and that really got big too when they released a DVD about it. High Times presents the Cannabis Cup, made right after the 2003 festival, and then they made another one in 2007 with Tommy Chong and Redman in it, and just bringing culture
Yeah,
into the
obviously,
game.
you got Tommy Chong in there is definitely for the culture.
Tong.
So yeah, I mean, shout out to the Cannabis Cup.
And that
High Times
Spanavis just happened too, right? That Spanavis. And High Times, is there another one coming up this year? Do we have one coming up this year, or did
I
it
think
pass
Michigan.
already? Michigan High Times
Might
is
be
coming
one
up.
That's coming up.
Be
Okay.
the next one.
But yeah, shout out Cannabis too in Spain. Launched in 2002, so been doing it for quite a while now. And I'd say
Nice.
that's the most renowned and biggest one across the pond these days.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
People are always flying out there to.
The United
experience
States
that.
loves it, dude. I know
Yeah.
that a bunch of the big wigs from the United States went out there this
There
year.
you go.
Yeah,
Show those
yeah.
motherfuckers how we put it on. Just kidding.
Exactly. Definitely, man.
But because of these events and these cups and awards have flourished so many other events, you know what I mean? Because these guys have started something, you got like business expo centers, you got MJ BizCon, you know what I mean? You got events in Canada, you know what I'm saying? Like Europe, all across that cater to hardware, technology, business, and the actual flower itself. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy to see like, now it's like an expo. It's like literally like expo. You go and you see like, I went to, I was watching a YouTube video where you put the 2 carts.
Oh, let's go.
You know, you just smoke it on the like a pipe, but the 2 carts, and you just press the button, and the 2 carts, and you can do the 1 cart or with the dab. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, what the hell is going on, dog? Like, so it just goes to show
All the
that like
tech.
it's just innovating constantly. You know, with the new technology that these awards and these shows and these vendors are coming, and
You
it's
said
good to
Expo.
go.
There's one called
Yeah.
Expo Grow.
Expo Grow?
held annually since 2011 in Spain.
There you go. Yeah.
Expo Grow.
Damn. Not to mention how many 420 events there are in the world.
Oh yeah.
That's when you're starting to get to almost like holiday.
That's a holiday. You know what I'm saying?
That's an
Holidays.
official
For sure,
Yeah,
710.
710.
11:30 being a new one.
Yeah, shout out Adam,
What's the
Adam Hill
11:30?
for sure on that.
Yeah,
You
what was
seen him?
Huh?
What's 11:30?
Hash holes, dude. Mixing 710 and 420.
Hell yeah.
I see.
Wow. Oh, no.
Oh my damn, dude.
Yeah,
Stone
well,
just be
Making up
crazy.
shit.
I was like, I know.
Okay,
I
the-
don't
making
the
those
most, like the crazy
midnight
just
shit,
to get
you know what
higher
I'm
and
saying?
just the most holidays just
Celebrate
to
it!
You're like,
Dude, it's another time of the day to get stoned.
100%, man.
Yeah, dude.
this is 420 every day.
420,
dude. It's 420 every time of the day.
11:30,
We
baby.
do that. No.
Hey, no.
And just like the technology, sorry to put you on.
There's
Just like the
421.
technology that you were talking about is MJ BizCon, and that's a big one right now too. Right now,
And
because
Austin.
I think personally, because that's actually bringing the actual business side of cannabis to the forefront. You know, like all the other things, it's just like, you know, we're focusing on the product, and that's amazing. You know, because the product is what sells and it's what drives the business. But also, it's the technology. You know, that technology where this dude making this double vape hitter with the dab on top, like it's like that's where he can market himself and, you know, make a living off of himself. Like it's like the fact that we have that now, and like JJ was saying, started in 2012, and I was also saying that in 2010 is when they had their first official one. They had 400 attendees. Now it's over thousands.
It blows up Vegas.
Oh, dude,
Goodbye.
It blew up. You know,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just like it's just gonna keep growing. It's gonna keep growing every year.
Us too.
Exactly, because we're part of it.
Yeah.
So I do think it's really cool. You said though that it highlights more of like a business side, like how you could possibly benefit more, and that is also different than just an event. Like Emerald Cup and stuff is going to be a lot of like people gathering, food, festivities. You know what I mean? Music.
Yeah. Celebrate.
But like MJ BizCon could be somebody in a way like earning their keep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They have the next
Networking.
pen, the
and
next
doing- yeah,
Puffco, like
exactly.
whatever it is.
Dude, the next big thing in cannabis, you know, as far as technology goes, some ways to consume.
What
all
are
that.
what are some of the ways? Not some of the ways, but what are, I guess, some things people can do to kind of like be more involved in these events? Do they just gotta Google them up? Can they? Is it one of these things that
Attend
just
them.
start showing up? You know
Honestly,
what I mean?
attend.
Yeah, look it up on
Look it
YouTube.
up on Google.
Yeah.
Like, YouTube's great to see what event you're going to.
Don't feel like you're being gate kept too. You know what I mean? Open to everyone. Come experience. This is our first time all at the Emerald Cup too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not like going over there like gung ho. We've been there before. You know what I'm saying? But we're excited because we know a lot of what goes into creating an event.
I mean, this
You know
is
what I
my
mean?
first cannabis event.
So, it's my
Like,
first awards,
really.
yeah. My first like legit,
Cup,
and this is
yeah.
a legit one. You know what I mean? We're talking about California. We're talking about
The
judges that are
Emerald
like
Cup, bro.
to be growing
20th
longer than I've been
anniversary,
alive.
too.
And the 20th anniversary, where they postponed it to make it even bigger. You know, so it's like I'm so excited. I'm so juiced, guys.
I'm excited to see the categories that they have. You know what I mean? Like to see what people have been working on all year. What they've been like, their practices, what they've been using to get that product, that end product. You know what I mean? Like what made this guy different from that second place to the first place? And it's like we literally kept it 2 weeks longer in our fridge. You know what I mean? Like it's those little things that separate, you know, that knowledge in order to create better stuff for the people. You know, and I commend those people always creating stuff for the people, man. It's really nice, and the fact that they've managed to dodge cops, you know what I'm saying? Dodge
the
government
law.
officials, dodge the law in terms of like, yo, we're here to stay. You know what I mean? And no matter how many times they've been told you can't do this, they're like, we're gonna make this happen because we're here to stay.
Yeah.
And I feel like now it's not only that, but it's gone even a step further. Now it's at like this year it's being held at the Kaiser Arts building. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh hey, we're gonna have a gazebo or like, we're gonna set up some tents or you know what I mean?
it's an
Some rain cover.
building.
Like we're gonna meet in a
They
park.
know what
like,
the
no,
fuck's
like, it's
going
gonna be
on in that
very-
building, dog.
There's a park right across the
Fans in
street,
that building, yo.
yeah, dog.
and that park's gonna be loaded with stoners too.
Dude,
Like,
it's gonna be
all
so
around the
sick,
building.
dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so sick.
Because there's
Blowing
like the lake.
clouds
There's
out
like the
there.
lake right there. Have you guys seen
You're
it?
gonna be- yes.
Yeah.
And the time of year that we're going to,
I don't know if you guys know
It's
this,
gonna be
but
hot,
Yeah,
dude.
it's gonna be
I'm
hot
like,
as shit,
it's a
dog.
little.
the full category they
None of
have
this.
Talking to the
is almost insane. Like they have
Coldest heart in the world.
cold fire,
Flavor Aid?
but they have over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7. They have 16 categories.
Wow.
The categories are flower, and this is what's all under the flower: sun-grown, mixed light, sun-grown greenhouse, indoor, third-party certified, personal use. This is what they have under the solvent list: rosin, ice water, personal use. Under the cartridge, they have solventless, live resin, distillate, topical, therapeutic, and personal use. Now, mind you, these are people bringing all of their products in those categories. You know what I'm saying? Alternative cannabinoids. You know, you're talking about your THCV, your CBG, you know, your high type 2, type 3 flowers, right? You know, edibles, health conscious beverages, right? And then you go into the environmentally conscious packaging, right? Which company has the best packaging that's environmentally friendly? You know what I'm saying? Not just throwing plastic waste and, you know, are your boxes biodegradable? You know what I'm saying? Are you using clean hardware? You know what I'm saying? Photo competition. What looks good on camera? You know, Instagram is the only way a lot of
Willie
people
Nelson
know.
Award?
You know what
Tell
I
me
mean?
about that. What is
Now,
the Willie
Lifetime
Nelson
Achievement Award in cannabis. So maybe someone who's contributed
Yeah, okay.
philanthropic work, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, to cannabis in
A
years.
a
Pre-roll,
legend in the game.
Oh, you know,
Exactly.
pre-roll's gonna be a huge one,
non-infused,
especially looking into
solventless
more of the,
infused, dog.
hash bowl. I'm guessing there's gonna be
2 grammers.
joint, yeah, deluxe joints. I'm guessing that's gonna be.
2 gram plus.
I'll find you over there. I'll be like,
There you
you
go.
got 2 joints in his mouth, 2 grams, 4 grams, dog.
Carbon infused.
So you got the solvent hydrocarbons, edibles, sweet, savory, gummy beverages. Dang, beverage enhancer. Then we move on to our tinctures.
Look at the
Right.
most innovative product.
And then best dispensary. So yeah, these are just kind of the, you know, the categories that we're looking forward to. Solventless, 2 grammers, outdoor, sun-grown, greenhouse, and mind you guys, not one of these are the same. Every single product is different. And that's what makes it so nice. You know what I mean? Like you'll be able to go there and you're like, this tastes like this. No. You're talking to like connoisseurs that have been doing this for generations.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Their palates are refined. You know what I mean? Their smells and tastes are that much cleaner, I guess you can say.
I'd say you're fine.
Refined. There you go. And they could definitely attest to that. So I'm excited, man. Solventless for sure. That's one of the most excited out
They're
there.
true
Yeah,
ganjiers.
Ganjiers!
You know, have that mouth watering, bubble gum, starburst.
Bubble hash.
Yeah. Starburst.
Hey.
Oh, man.
It's a 3-day event. Right?
No, it's
Two-day
going to be
event.
2 day. Yes.
Two-day event.
We will be going down on a Friday, and then the event is Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll be heading back.
And we're going to
Monday.
be capturing a ton of content for y'all.
Interviewing, getting in front of the people, trying to find the people.
Trying to do product reviews.
Yep.
All the
Product
sorts.
reviews. Definitely highlight
Knowledge.
the best things that we're having out there.
And like we're gonna
Culture.
do a couple of the I would almost questionable brands, like Alien Labs, Doja Pack,
Let's try it out.
Paper Planes. And when I say the questionable ones, I've heard controversy on if they're good or not. When people say,
Of
"Oh, I've
course
had
they're
good stuff,"
good.
hey, dude, I've heard controversy
Never know.
on those 3 people in particular.
You never.
But
I
how
don't
does
know.
it
Controversy.
But how does
For
it
sure.
smoke? There is controversy with those in particular people.
I mean, you heard
And
it here
I'm
first. We're
gonna-
gonna try them shits out and tell you
gonna
how
be-
it is.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but I'm
Does
stoned.
it flip? Does it flip?
Nah.
Now, mind you guys, this is all like family level tiers too. I mean, it says family friendly, but just so you know, man, we gonna be there R&Ding, trying stuff out, knowing what's good, knowing what's
Yes,
bad, and be
yes.
like, yo, man, don't be trying this, man, because it's for the people. At the end of the day, the Emerald Cup is for the people. In the anonymity that it provides makes it that much better. There's no favoritism. You know what I'm saying? They're not choosing their favorite grower. I'm not over here being like, yo, Gabe, because he grew this, I'm gonna, put him at first place. No, I'm gonna see what number they're at, and if it's his, and if it's not his, it is what it is. The flower speaks for itself. There's a 4-word term in the industry they use right now. It starts with an F.
Fire in, fire out.
Easy. That's all the Emerald Cup believes in. You know what I mean? Like, if that's like one way to explain it, like that's the only way I could explain it. They provide fire in and fire out. People that really care. You know what I'm saying? Like soil
I also think not only product, but I'm really excited to see different gear, different shirts, different
gear.
merchandise.
You guys know
different devices. I know
You
we
guys
talked
know I'm
about
getting
like,
peas.
you're gonna get the craziest glass bong.
Oh, that's
of
an
your
Easter
life.
egg, dog. Yeah.
The glasses, dude, the glass makers that are gonna be there, rolling and making glass pipes and stuff. You know what I mean?
Come get your glass tip here, and they're like getting
They're
it
gonna
off.
be passing them out, dude.
Yeah.
They're gonna be passing out glass tips, dude.
Seeds over there. You know what I mean? Just it's gonna be cool, man. What's one thing you're looking forward to the most besides like trying something? What's one thing you're looking to get out of the Emerald over there?
Meeting people.
Meeting people.
I want to talk. I really, really want to talk to as
We're
many
definitely
people
gonna meet
as
a lot
we
of
can.
people for sure.
Having the ability to bump into some of the biggest people in the cannabis industry and have them see my passion and hopefully collaborate with them one day. My connections run deep, and I know that we can create some really beautiful ones out there, dude.
Nice.
So I would say meeting people and creating those connections that are going to come to beautiful things
Nice.
for all of us.
Damn. What about you, Wes? It's one thing like. What about
Big takeaway, huh?
you? Yeah.
I think I want to honestly just have it on film. I think that's the biggest thing because I'm just so
That'd be a
excited for
memory
the boys.
trip.
So it's like I know it's going to be like
The dog.
something big to reflect on, look at, not
Bring
only
a
to
camcorder, make it look old school, man.
bring to light what's going on there and stuff. But I just think going out there with you boys is like really going to be it. Like I'm so
Nice.
stoked for all of it.
Let's
you know what I
go.
mean? Meet people, try
Let's go.
product. It's hard to highlight like one thing. You know what I'm saying? We live in Utah right now, so it's like to go to some California weather.
Just going
You know
out
what
of
I'm
state is the
saying?
whole fucking
Exactly.
thing, dude.
Vacation
Right.
with the boys, like say less.
T-minus 4 months, man. T-minus 4 months.
Yeah, I think it's just
Yeah,
about
JJ.
just
What about
being
you?
a part of the culture, man.
Being part of the
And
culture.
being there full time, not being like, when, like thinking, shit, this is going to be over soon.
Right, being
no,
present.
like, we're going to be there.
Yeah.
And just having a good time. And it's like,
That's how I feel, too.
just keep doing it. Yeah, being present, being in the moment, and being full time in the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For a full 2-3
Full,
fucking
like,
days.
just immersing yourself,
Yeah.
like, in those 2 days, like...
That's what I'm
Like
excited
I told
for.
you,
Just to
like,
be immersed.
you know what I mean? Emerald Cup is gonna be some stories, dog. Like, I don't know if I'm coming home.
Where did Seth go? He's disappeared for 2 hours.
You know what
Seth
I'm
came back
saying?
on Monday.
No, dude, I see Gabe sleeping on the rooftop, man. I'm like, what the heck in his leopard underwear? I'm just kidding. What about you, Javi?
Be that new double card with
He's
the
gonna be
dab.
like double J's in his
Yeah,
mouth.
it's like hit the double cart
Double
dab, and
cart.
the next thing you know,
Hit the
he's
fucking
talking
Puffco
to somebody on the
5000, dude.
roof.
You heard it here, guys. Pineapple Express, man, type style.
Dude, exactly. Fucking what's that? X Project X.
Project X.
Project X.
Damn,
What about
drive
you,
a car
Javi?
into the swimming pool.
What about you, Javi? What are some things you're looking
Honestly,
forward to,
same
man?
thing as Gabe, dude, is meeting people. I'm really excited for the events and the entertainment. Just seeing the live events that they have, the artists, the musicians, the DJs. Honestly, partying it up with homies out there. Homies from everywhere. Honestly, like it's the people are gonna be going are gonna be coming from everywhere just to be there. You know, so it's like you said, dude.
Talk.
Yeah,
dog.
We're gonna be talking.
Talk.
We're gonna be meeting so many people. Yeah, like our phones are gonna be buzzing by the end of the night.
Yeah,
dude.
we got
It's just-
contacts.
That's
Media
that whole
coverage,
thing, dude.
yeah.
The media coverage you already know, and it's like vlogging that whole thing is gonna be great because it's gonna help expand that whole world to just over here in Utah, like we said, like just going out of state is a whole adventure, because it's so different here. But being able to bring that back and just expand that some more, and plus like trying the best of the best, that's like
And to show our Utah audience what it's like when you can actually fully,
Experience it.
and
Exactly.
do that.
Immerse yourself
Yeah,
in that
immerse
and-
yourself in the culture.
And be a part of cannabis
be like
culture
a
and have your
farmer's
culture
market.
be the biggest it should be. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
damn, look, they're doing it just fine. Like, bring that on
Well,
over
to
here.
see what the impact of what the event has, right?
Exactly.
This impact that it created. It's not only put this amount of pressure on the community to be for the community, but that's what it did, right? Like we can come back from the Emerald Cup and be like, "You look, this is what their community did for their community." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
This is what we know now, what we can do for our community.
learn from what happens when they
us
embrace the
you
culture
know?
like that. What about you, Seth?
Oh man, it's I think with JJ on that one, just being as present as I possibly can, like in those 2 days. Like I don't want to say like I don't want to think about anything else, but I don't want to think about anything else
Yeah,
besides
I
being
don't.
there. Like
Meet all the hash makers
just
possible.
talk to all of them. Remember at least 5 of their names, right? Remember like some names by the end of the day to actually create a conversation and just really talk to them, man. Like next thing you know, you talk to them like, yeah, I just served 20 years, and you're like, the hell? And they've just been growing for the last 10 years. And that's how it be with these guys, Some of them serve time, some of them they're just regular humans, but to see their discipline behind the work is what stands out to me the most. I'm like, for you to dedicate this much time to your craft, like, thank you for sharing it. Because I think I heard a great quote that says, when you have a great talent or a purpose on earth, your purpose is to share it. Before you leave this earth, you're supposed to share your talents. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like a lot of these guys are doing. And I'm excited to just be present with them. You know what I mean? Just like, because that's what the social part is, right? With smoking. You know what I mean? When you're like around someone who's smoking hash and you're like, dang, brother. And you're like just laughing it up. You're giggling up. Everyone's just dabbing each
you
other.
wanna
You
try
know what I
this?
mean? And that's what that's the part I'm excited for. It's like that social presence.
listening to the
moment.
music, watching
Right.
the artists.
Clinking our fucking glasses together, you know what I mean? Boys, we made it, our J's in the air. Like, that's what I'm excited for, like that moment when I'm like, remember we talked about this 4 months ago? So that's what I'm excited for, man. The road to the Emerald Cup.
The road is fucking
The UCC goes to the Emerald, man.
UCC to the Emerald Cup.
It's exciting. And that's not going to be the last one, for sure. There's a harvest ball that'll probably be happening in December for the Emerald Cup as well. You got a couple end of the year harvest.
High T Humboldt. For sure. That's all
events.
concentrate
Oklahoma, you got Michigan.
Guys,
got
can
New
you
York.
imagine
So-
if there was a Utah Cannabis Club?
We
Cup?
can, because we talking about we gonna do one. We got UCC,
Yeah, UCCC.
awards, dog. Utah Cannabis Cup awards, dog.
Utah Cannabis
Yeah.
Cup.
It's gonna be coming soon, and we're telling you now. We're telling you now.
Hey.
Dude, that'll be the real high
Yes,
tops,
no, that
dude.
is what it's
That high
supposed to be,
elevation.
And it's not a
gonna be
trend,
amazing,
y'all.
bro.
This ain't a trend, man. We're on it.
Oh no.
We're here. We're excited. This is here to stay.
It's deeper than the trend.
Yeah, this is
the culture. That's what.
when you immerse yourself in the cannabis culture, not only as a user, not only as a patient, you start to see it for what it truly is, the beauty that lies behind the people that have tried to create a positive uplifting spiritual aspect with the plant.
You see how
don't
much
go
love
there.
is there.
Yeah, you don't go there and you're like seeing like stoners and lazy people. Like it's the complete opposite. They just threw this 20-year event. Business advocates, policy makers. You know what I mean? Like so that's why it makes it
go.
Exactly. So if you're hearing about this, it's way beyond just what you think it is. You know, it's worldwide. You know, it's affected. It's what is it? It's intercontinental news. Always, you know, the world tunes in when it comes to the Emerald Cup Awards. It's like, oh shit.
And
That's
to
the new
win or to
competition
walk
for the
away
year.
with some hardware,
You know what I mean?
means a big deal. Like, that does
Without
put
a
your
doubt.
brand like really far out there. So that's also why it gets so like competitive.
Yep.
Right.
California is known for its fucking cannabis. Like people come from Amsterdam to California for that. Right. You know, it's crazy.
One thing that caught my eye is the Eco-Conscious Packaging Award. The packaging that is designed to have the smallest impact on the environment and leave the smallest carbon footprint. Eco-friendly, biodegradable, but preferably compostable, recyclable, reusable, non-toxic, made from recycled products based in biomass or natural products, or manufactured through low-impact means are all eligible. So it just goes to show you that like it's a whole cycle of giving back. You know what I mean?
And how far people go through like the
to be
QC process to not only get an award, but to seriously give back to the community, to Earth.
To
you know what I mean?
Earth?
You're
Like,
talking about
that's
the
crazy.
best packaging.
Well, and
for
doing
the
that might
environment.
motivate some people to be like, yo, we need to make our shit healthier
Yeah.
to get that
More
award.
biodegradable.
Yeah.
You know, I
Reduce
could
our
throw a
footprint.
pod
Yeah.
away and it just disintegrates with the earth or something.
How can you
It's
leave it better than you found
fertilizer.
it?
Right.
So I mean, they're already influencing the culture and just the world for
Yeah.
like better.
That's
day.
what caught my eye the most, that category. I
Yeah, that's
totally
cool.
forgot about
That's
that
super
one.
cool.
Yeah. So, super excited to experience the 2-day event.
Really excited.
Vlog it all. Download the information. If you have a chance, go.
Yes, I was
August.
gonna say check out Emerald
It's
Cup
in
on
August.
Instagram.
Go,
You know what I mean?
go,
You'll find them there. Even if you Google it, you'll find the event. You can get a ticket. Like they're still doing pre-order. They did push out the event so that more people could attend. So please
Bigger.
go. If you're listening to this and you're on the board, like go get a ticket. We'll see you there.
Yeah,
Yo,
you'll see us
Put the
there.
money down.
Straight
For
up.
real. It's worth it.
We'll be there.
Hell yeah, we will.
And don't even stop looking there, guys. You know, there's multiple events that happen. You know, in the future, UCC will have events. Like we promise that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It
Without
will
a
happen.
doubt.
You know what I mean? Like, so stay tuned in, stay locked in, tune into other awards around the world, around the U.S. If you're taking a vacation and you're in Michigan, and you know, look it up. Look at what's going on. Next thing you know, there's a Expo Concentrate Awards, and you're like, oh shit, let's go to the Expo. You know, Concentrate in Michigan, and you didn't even know, and you're in town. You know what I'm saying? So cannabis is growing in all these states. Attend those events. You know what I mean? Keep fighting for those events to happen. Utah, we're on the like. What's one thing you guys would like to see happen here besides like an awards? Like, would it be like one big 420 event? Maybe like a Midwest like rendezvous. You know what I mean? It's just a vendor type stuff. Because I know one of the things we talked about for UCC in the future is
Dude,
definitely
burning
the
bright
family
at
stuff.
Brighton, dude.
Ooh, there you
Burning
go.
bright at Brighton.
Including the
That'd be so
slopes.
sick. Yeah.
That's a huge one. Skiing and smoking up there.
Yeah.
See, a lot of them. I mean, vaporizing up there.
Burning bright at Brighton, dude. I think
Burning bright at Brighton.
Yeah, I think the venue they have out there for like the mountain range being your
Wow.
backdrop. You know what I mean? You're just. I don't know if you guys have ever been to like a beer. I forget what they're called.
Yeah,
like,
Snowbird.
Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that-
what if you did like a
that
cannabis October?
Dude, I literally talked
that
to
kind
her.
of stuff, you know, I think
my
that'd be
my
fucking
lovely
sick.
lady about that. I was like, could you imagine? And I told them, I was like, can you imagine if it was? And they were like, no, you couldn't do that. And I was like, okay, all right. What if it's just med patients? What if we just have medical patients go up there? You know what I mean? You have your card, you scan it, and we can all consume in one spot.
Yeah.
Start off small, you know? Utah Cannabis Medical Coalition. Just get someone started if you're out there. I'll join. I'll join.
He said, someone do the work.
I'll join. We're already doing all this, so we'll join that.
Honestly, I'd love to see a change in policy because
Yeah.
that's the problem is that, you know, no one's going to come to somewhere where you can't test out the product unless you use a vaporizer. And even then, you have to have a medical emergency, quotation marks, to be able to use publicly. So until they kind of change that for us to, you know, just use it freely, you know, We gotta push that change, and once that change comes, boom, here comes that
I think-
UCC.
Cheers.
Seriously, I think you nailed that. I think the biggest change is just growing the cannabis community here. And I think that's through like policies and stuff. Like you have to do it in the medical legal format that it is here. But there's already so many people that use here that go out of state and everything that we just have to change policies that people want to stay here.
For real. And they want to use here. They want to try our shit.
And there's a lot of people that are willing to go to these events because, like, we're not behind anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be like, oh, Utah's behind. No, because California's been doing this for 25 years now, right? We have awards in Oklahoma, Michigan. And it's not to say that we're behind, but we can adopt certain things on a small scale. You know what I mean? Like you said, policy changes for events, having permits, right? To, like, have a smokable tent at like the arts festival. You know, we have a booth and it's like, you guys can't allow it. Okay, let's create a tent where we can hit it inside the tent.
Legit.
You know, can we sample it inside a tent if there's no kids allowed? And then we just vacuum it, vacuum all the smoke out of the tent. You know, so when we open the tent, no smoke comes out. You know what I'm saying? So that would be so sick, you know what I mean? Like they just keep throwing these curveballs, but we do whatever we can to overcome that curveball. They'll be like
Finding them loopholes.
exactly,
honestly.
you know, they're like, so you guys
What
gotta
we gotta
make it.
do.
And I agree that, and that's one of those things. Like, I would love to see a Utah like gallery cannabis event, you know, where it's like a gallery raised for a nonprofit or something, and people bring their cannabis glassware, their paintings, their merchandise. You know what I mean? They're you know, all types of like cool cannabis stuff would be amazing. So, I think that'd be really cool, man.
Dude,
Plus-
that'd be amazing. Dude, expanding the culture. That's what it's about.
Getting into the culture.
Expanding it and just bringing it all together. That's the biggest thing. And I love that. We gotta,
it too.
we gotta keep it moving.
No, literally, guys.
We've already done
If
it.
you are advocating for an event in Utah,
Reach out.
reach out. We're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? We're in the works of trying to get little things up and running, but it takes time. You know, we're in an immature market, but a mature market as well. You know, we got mature patients in an immature market, if that makes sense. The patients know what they want. So what we want here at UCC, and then that's just to empower the community and to help build. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That's our ethos. And one of those is creating community events. You know, when you can bring people to a safe space.
A Utah Cannabis Clubhouse, if you will.
You know what I mean? And that's what the Emerald Cup, rewinding it back, is providing that safe space, you know? Like,
Yep.
I'm sure they had this same conversation, right? 30 years ago. Like, we need somewhere where we can showcase our flower, guys. What do? We need somewhere where, like, we can showcase. And it's like, okay, cool. And now 24 years later, now you have Ice Cube. You got Paul McCartney showing up. You know, you got, like, what was Neville's, who was the artist?
No.
Willie Nilsson.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The artist. Sorry, guys.
Willie Nelson.
I hit a little concentrate. But yeah, man.
Yeah, no. Shout out
was like
to
Redman?
Willie.
Nilly, Redmond. Yeah, so there you got all this, even celebrities chiming in. Like, that's the attention it grabs. It starts to grab attention of levels of people in society. Politicians start to notice, oh, wow, there's a drive with this group. They want change. They're not just, you know, patients that use. They're patients that advocate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? So we're continuously just advocating. I would love to see Utah. I think Utah would excel in like a baking category. You know what I mean? And I'm sure we get some like crazy flour from like like St. George, like some crazy sun grown, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like they're bringing their entries all the way from like St. George. You know what I mean? Some entries from like Cedar City. Probably some entries down in like maybe from right here, you know, in someone's backyard.
No, I think I really do think baking. So like any edibles, or
I think Utah's really on
or if
baking,
you
right?
got, any like drinks. If you started to get big in drinks, like I mean, you look here, like there's seriously a swig. There's a
Gosh, you're so
every
right.
place on
there's a
every
soda place on
corner.
every corner. So
What's-
I mean, like that would be a way
Suspension, liquid suspension, was that the word they try to use?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's what it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
True North for making them seltzers. Them shits were fire.
Yo,
you go.
They got
bring
banned,
that shit
though.
back, man. I heard it got banned. Come on, y'all. Y'all gotta loosen up, man. For real.
We gotta
Loosen
everyone
up,
send
man.
something
Seltzers.
to your local senator,
Man.
or whoever the fuck is in charge of that, because them shits hit the spot.
I'd rather have that than a
Nobody
busy.
said-
I'd rather buy a
said
case of that
anything
than
when
a
they
busy.
went. Dude, nobody
Honestly.
said anything when they went on sale. By the way, I know that they went on sale.
What do you
Didn't
mean?
say anything.
Oh, for you to go
Nobody
get more.
said nothing to.
That they were gonna get banned? Or what do
Yeah.
you-
Yeah, when they got banned, remember how they like put them on sale so they could get off the shelf?
I mean, we told everybody.
That's crazy. I got an email, but I'm just sad in that.
No one told you. No one told you, dog. But everyone who was buying them, I was like, yo, get a fucking rack of these because they're like obviously they went from $8 to $3 to $2.
No way.
$2.
How many milligrams are we talking?
10.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
But you're talking about something that's going inside your bloodstream, that's going inside
just,
like.
how many
It's
drinks did you get?
Fire, dude.
How many
Drank
what?
nice.
Was it just like
three of
one?
them?
You could buy as many as you wanted.
Didn't say shit.
Then and guys,
This
Utah,
guy's
right?
fucking lying.
Guys, man.
But
the
Pete,
truth
dude,
will set
like,
you free.
we'd have the homie, I forgot his name, but shout out, you know who you are if you're listening to this. He'd come in and buy 30 to 40 of those things.
Oh,
every
my.
time, especially when they went on sale, because I told him, I was like, dog, these are going on sale because it's going to get banned. Try and buy as many as you can. Next time he ordered 40 of these things. And I'm like, oh shit,
The max order of his like
That's what I'm
patient
saying.
like.
And it's not even just for like a recreational purpose. It's the fact that it's just like if you didn't like edibles, you would swig 1 or 2 of these, and it would hit you in the next 20 minutes. You know, it would help alleviate whatever you were going through, pain wise, and help relax you. And it was just
only
perfect.
10 milligrams.
And you're
It's not gonna
talking
rock
about
you.
discretion.
Oh, dude,
It could be a Red Bull for
It's a
all people look
seltzer.
at. No, people think it's a Red Bull or something. You know, because was that Red Bull? Nah, just seltzer. I'm good, because I ain't gonna tell you what's in this anyways.
you want none of this.
You don't want none of this nano anyways, dog.
But I really think like you know what I mean. Like that as a competition here would be pretty crazy.
That would be pretty
I think
sick.
you know what I mean with just how much.
Well, our breweries are known out here too. You know what I mean?
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah,
Some terpenes.
beers.
Can you like if they have
Terpene
beer
infused,
festivals,
some,
then I'm sure they can host a little cannabis festival on the street.
Yeah, well, I want to be in the mountains, dude. I think it's way cooler.
I'm down to be anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as we got one out here.
Hey,
dog.
but they'll be more appeased if we're out of city limits. They will like that. If we're out of city
But you'll
limits.
always be in
there.
the city.
Maybe. I mean,
No,
yeah.
we're gonna-
That might be the case.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
If I could choose a city, I would
Brighton
say.
is in a county.
Hey, this is crazy. If y'all would say, hey, I'll give y'all this right here. Here's another
let's
one.
drive
If you
500
guys could
miles out.
host one in a city, where would you host it?
Where would we host it?
In Utah,
Yep.
Salt Lake.
It's easy to say Salt Lake, right? But some people will be like, what city though? In Salt Lake.
That's what I'm saying, Salt Lake City.
Like downtown?
Downtown.
Dang.
That would be it, honestly. Because if you
For
did
real?
it in St. George, it's too close to
I would try to do it in
Vegas.
West Valley. Probably the best valley in the state.
I mean, West Valley's right.
Everyone's like,
Yeah,
Real quiet.
so, you know, probably I'll give props to the, our senator from West Valley who probably,
Yo, I'm not
legalized
gonna
the bill.
lie.
No, I'm just kidding. It was just a
sounds-
fun question. I would say downtown for sure, but
depending
maybe
where
Park City.
Or what building? I was
I'd
gonna
say Park City is most likely the farthest away, but the most open because I hear they're like the most open over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're wild over there. I'm talking like wine drinking
Oh, of course they are.
Californians over
Oh, yeah,
there. That
for sure.
motherfucker. Sorry.
most
sure.
of them. Yeah.
But the only hard thing about that is like as far as an event like that'd be pricey. Like
It would.
Park City is like already kind of out there with outrageous funds, in my opinion.
No, you're right.
You
Because
stop there
there's
for
already
food or like
events.
stop at a restaurant, you're like, oh,
Or to stay up there. You're like,
yeah,
ooh.
no, exactly.
I know it'd be so
But-
crazy. What city limits would they have you do? It's like you'd have to be away from a school, a hospital, religious building to even like permit some type of cannabis.
Well, actually, the Mormon religion advocates for cannabis.
I believe that 100%.
I mean, the biggest event I went to in Utah that had cannabis was Reggae Rise Up. Everybody was consuming.
Harriman, like some type of like
And that was in Heber.
Heber,
Heber.
maybe like that's a little past Park City, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just like 10 minutes.
It's nice out there, though.
But yeah, it was sick.
That one,
Mountain
that one
ranges,
was good.
man. We're in Utah. We gotta be in the mountains.
Yeah, it was
it's a
nice.
gift of Utah.
There's a river right there, and we went through the river.
Gorgeous view.
Yeah.
We would definitely do some scouting, but I would love to like commemorate like a city that's like, you know what I mean, where the community can show up to. And the reason why I say Salt Lake City and or some type of like Glendale, West Valley, because you're talking like
That's
now
culture.
local barber shops. You're talking like local like dance studios. You're talking like local, supermarkets. Local mom and pop shops, and that's where the beauty is. You know what I mean? That's where that's where the
community.
functionality of the event actually happens. You know what I mean? The community. When you have the elotes being sold, you know what I mean? And you got the freaking. You know what I'm saying? And you got someone else selling their cookies and their soda right next to it, and then their
Someone getting
merchandise.
their haircut.
Someone getting their haircut. Like you got bounce houses, whatever. We're talking about an event. You know what I'm saying? And even if we talk about 18+ event for adults, you know what I'm saying? Plenty of events like that too that we can start to cater that. So stay tuned, y'all. We gonna do it, man. UCC is definitely man working towards it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Excited for the future, man.
Liquid suspension though. Damn.
Stay
love to
tuned
come
for
back,
that Emerald Cup content.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's
For real.
gonna be sick.
Coming to you mid 2024.
Yep.
Yeah, sign up and see you
2024.
there.
Sign up, see you there, go there, be there,
real.
see us there. DM us if you have any more questions. Message us. Check us out on Instagram at
Utah.cannabis.club.
Come on, and you can find us anywhere, man. What are all the
Twitter,
media? Twitter,
YouTube, Spotify.
Yeah,
We are
anywhere you want to listen to a podcast, we're on it.
Also, guys, we just did a 3-part series also on our last couple episodes on the history. If you guys are looking to get interested on the history side of cannabis, looking to keep up with the trends, we kind of cover that on our 3-part series of history on cannabis.
Yeah,
So
go
ahead
back and check that
Yeah,
out.
go ahead and check that out. Kind of keep yourself up on things going on in the nature of the world of cannabis. And all our other episodes, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, check them out. Show us some love.
nuggets.
This is your boy Wes.
Yeah.
Boy, Gabe.
Hey, it's your boy Shep.
And this is JJ.
And it's Javi.
You see what it is.
Utah Cannabis Club, y'all. We out. Get some shirts, mother.
Merch
Yeah.
away.
Yo. Shirts. Hey, yo, check it, man. Utah Cannabis Club. We in the house. You already know, man. Yeah, we no mouse. We big dogs, man. We coming, we no box. Oh, yeah, you already know. We no talks, man. Chilling, man. We killing, man. Yeah, we like villains, man. Yeah. Check it, man. Heroes, yeah, no zeros.